Hello, my name is Douglas Wilch, and today I will be doing a movie review of the Russian 1997 film Brother. So, a quick summary of the movie. A demobilized Danila, who has just served in the First Chechen War, goes to St. Petersburg in order for opportunity and to link up with his brother Victor on urge of his mother. Little does he know that Victor is actually a hitman for the mafia, and he recruits Danila to get into the family business. This eventually makes enemies, specifically when he kills a crime boss named the Chechen. So further on to that, the brother sells him out to the main boss. His name's called Roundhead, and through a series of interrelated plot lines, primarily when his kind of girlfriend is beaten and assaulted by the Roundhead and his goons, he goes on a killing spree, killing Roundhead, his whole entire gang, and ends up forgiving his brother and telling him to run town and go to his sister, not sisters, pardon me, to his mother's house. And in as much he becomes fully disillusioned with it because of the city's darkness, and he leaves for Moscow to make a new life for himself, but also because of an important thing his brother noted, Victor, all the powers in Moscow. He's going to seek that out. So, how does this relate to the course overall? As we talked about before, St. Petersburg is the thoroughly and most proudly Western city in Russia. In the movies, we focused on bridges, canals, even a few more post 90s aspects of the westernization of St. Petersburg, McDonald's, American music, French is being spoken by some French expats, uh, and also how it also relates to the coursework itself is we do get a brief glimpse of the golden statue of St. Peter of Peter the Great. We also focus on something that relates to crime and punishment. In the case of Hoffman and Kat, there's widespread substance abuse. Kat is possibly dabbling in prostitution, as we saw in Crime and Punishment as well. And the ever-present hard Russian winter also relates to how close it was built to the tundra. Now we'll focus a little bit on the First Chechen War. So Danila and a majority of people, they were conscripts, and our protagonist was forced to serve, and it goes along with traditional Russian ideals of sacrifice for country, and also along the lines of brutality. There's high death tolls, this was a long conflict. Over 35,000 Russian soldiers died, with even a death count of the hundreds of thousands for the Chechens. We also see this as we're implied to believe this is the birth of Daniela's moral code. Supposedly, he just served at HQ, even though it's noted by Roundhead and by many others that he did more than just that. Quick side note, it was mentioned once the transition from Leningrad to St. Petersburg. His mother called it Leningrad. Danila accurately claims, no, this is St. Petersburg now. And for him, it's not associated with the trauma of World War II. It's a new city on the rise, focused on revitalization and opportunity. And finally, Daniela's moral code. This was a main theme that we've noticed, and I'm going to highlight this. So, Daniela, in the course of the movie, his moral code becomes obstructed by the city. The city turns you dark, and darkness was something that was focused on within the film itself. As his German friend Hoffman says, the city is a dark force. The strong come here and become weak. And that was another theme that also relates to our course as well. Our two themes. It makes the citizens brutish, cold, despondent to each other. There is some community within Hoffman and some of his close group of friends, but we've noticed that once wealth is established, inner deterioration begins. Once there is want, and then there is suffering, and especially in the case of Danilo, who loses almost everything. His brother, he forgives him, but essentially banishes him back home. His love interest is brutally attacked and doesn't want anything to do with him. And he's now all alone again and is traveling his way back to Moscow. And it's very symbolic when they're going out and just focusing on the snow, and he's got his gun and he's with the truck driver he's hitchhiking with. The quote comes between interaction with Hoffman, and I was reminded during it, and now you've fallen. So with that, I will conclude here. Thank you for your time.